Good day, good night. How's everyone doing? This is Kevin Laramee of Soccer Today, live with you on this Monday evening. And I'm here just to hang out with you. And I can't do that. That's because I have a new mic and I can't bow my head like that without making noise. But how are you doing this evening? I'm here because I wanted to show you my new studio. I wanted to show you a few of the scarves that I have on my wall because, as you can see, I took out the green screen, and I'll explain to you why I took out the green screen, and I'll explain to you my setup that I have a bit here in the studio, and what I'm looking for in the future, what kind of equipment I'm actually looking to get in the next couple of weeks. While this thing is going on, we're making some upgrades in the studio. We're taking the opportunity that COVID-19 gives of looking at how we do things and to look at how we want to do things. And video especially, audio is going to be better. I'm going to get used to this microphone and how to record properly. Hopefully you can hear me better, and hopefully you're having some fun joining me on this Monday evening. By the way, if you have questions on Twitter, if you're watching me on Twitter live, if you have any questions, just write to me right now. Just write on this post, tag me, and I'll see my phone light up, and I'll answer your question. First of all, I'm going to talk to you about my microphone and what type of camera I'm looking to get, what a camera I have now. Yeah, that should be better. We're looking to get a better camera, and that's the reason behind why I took the green screen out. And that's why I reinstalled all my soccer scarves that you see. Some of them are not soccer, but they're all my scarves. I have some more, but I can't really show the other ones I have. Those are the ones that I can show and are fun to watch. And I'll give you a couple of explanations behind every one of them, what they mean to me and who gave them to me. Most of them were given to me. And we'll look at them. But before, if you have any streaming question, by the way, you're a podcaster and you're listening to this, you're wondering what to use, how to start podcasting, and if you have any questions, I'm always open to help anyone start podcasting. It's a venture that could look like a lot of work, and it is, and it's a lot of learning. There's a lot of learning curves, and you can get a lot of equipment, and you can spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, and maybe it won't make a difference, and maybe it will, and that's kind of the fun part. So the reason why I took out the green screen today and I reinstalled the nice scarves is because I have what's called a webcam right now. Right now it's a Logitech HD 1080p C920. What I bought about a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago, and it's a good camera. It's not a bad camera. There's no problem with the camera itself. But when you want to do green screen chroma keying, which is the proper term, you can use color keying or chroma keying, which is the same idea. You take a color, which usually is the background, you take it away, it becomes translucent, and you can layered images and have myself in front of my Soccer Today studio, which is looking like a soccer field, a soccer stadium, and it looks awesome, right? So the reason why I took it away is because I'm a stickler for details and I love things to look good. And for a year and a half now, it was looking good, but around my face, you could still see fuzziness around the green screen. But that reason is because it's a webcam camera. And the definition of the camera with the lighting and where my green screen was, it wasn't giving me a good chroma keying, and I tried with a better camera, and right away that's a difference. So by the way, you can use your phone as a webcam. There's ways around it, but you can if you have an Android. There's ways to do it too if you have an iPhone. So I used my phone yesterday, and if you listen to Soccer Today this morning, I used my phone also to various degree of success. But tomorrow you'll have this set up, and for the next couple of weeks while we look for a perfect camera, and while we explain to you what a couple of gadgets that are coming to the studio will help us do also down the road, especially for the video and production and broadcast wise. But so I wanted to perfect not only my audio and the look of it, because of course I still have my big microphone, my big radio mic right here, my big SPN, which is, by the way, this is about $100. So if you're podcasting, if you're a podcaster and you're starting to podcast and you're wondering, I don't know what to get. If you want to hear, I can always. So here, let me. So you, of course, you can hear right away the difference of this mic. So what this mic is, it's a Behringer mic. It's about $100, $85, I believe. It's not expensive, but you do need a mixer or a USB interface to be able to plug it into your computer and then broadcast it, whichever software you use, OBS, TriCaster, Ecamm, their live stream. There's a bunch of different software you can use to broadcast, but this is the one that I use. OBS, by the way, if you were wondering, and this is my first XLR microphone, which is a very good microphone. But the reason behind the switch to the lapel mic is more videos and on location, and I cover games at the Montreal Impact on the stadium, and I do like to have a better quality video in the next future, and also don't want to always have a mic in front of my face, and lapel does, if it's adjusted properly, it should sound as good as the XLR mic I have, and it's better quality mic, like 10 times better quality. This one, which is a Audio Technica Pro 70 lapel mic, XLR lapel mic, that comes, by the way, it's not wireless. This one is wired, so it actually comes in a pack here that you put your XLR in. This goes into my mixer, and this is all wired up in my clothes all the way here. And I do have also now in-ear monitors that are clear, so sorry about that. So you don't see my big earbuds also, which was annoying me because of the chroma keying and the green screen. You could tell the fuzziness around it. And I'm a perfectionist, and this was annoying me for the last year and a half, and I've been trying to figure out, and I'm like, is it a software? Is it something I can do better? Software? No, it's hardware. It's a hardware problem. It's because of my cheap-ass webcam, which is not even cheap. It's a decent webcam. It's around, I think I paid $100 Canadian 2 years ago when I bought it. Around that, maybe even a bit more. But that camera was a good camera on the market. Like, it's a very good one for streaming. It's made for that, but still I wasn't satisfied with the live streaming chroma keying. So I'm now in the lookout for a DSLR camera or a camcorder, very high quality camcorder, but I think I'm going to go with the DSLR. So with DSLR and a good background, a good blur, I'll have a good lighting that I have in the studio, as you can tell. Once I get that camera, I'll have a better chroma keying, and with my green screen, that is going to be removable, so this will come from time to time, but I'll be able to put my back screen also. So that's a bit about streaming and why, of course, I decided to go back to Scarves for a couple of weeks. And by the way, the fun part of Scarves, the fun part of having Scarves is most of these scarves were given to me by listeners like you watching me. Maybe you are watching me. Maybe you're like my friend Stéphane from Ottawa, who gave me the great Bytown Boys I see here. Hi, Stéphane. Hope you're fine, and hope everyone's fine in Ottawa. I'm glad you're getting a team. It's unfortunate that due to COVID-19, we'll see a delayed start of Atletico Ottawa, but I'm glad for all the Bytown Boys that now they will have a team to cheer for in Ottawa. So that's the story behind the Bytown Boys scarves right here. This one I received by mail by Stéphane, one of the founding members of the Bytown Boys SC. Was a fan of the Fury from the beginning, and so he sent me this a couple of years ago. We can start up here, 127 Montreal, which you can see the logo here. 127 is a supporters group of the Montreal Impact. And I had the chance to hang out with them in 2015 when the Montreal Impact were in the CONCACAF Champions League final. I spent the game against Pachuca, so the game where I have this one here was given me by a staff of the Impact. So that Pachuca scarf, which is half Pachuca, half three colors of the Montreal Impact. So on that day, when that happened, I was actually in the stands with them. And if you go and watch the replay of that game when Cameron Porter scores, then it shouts to the crowd where the 127s are. And I'm in there. And I'm with this 127, losing my shit, shaking the guardrail, thinking I'm like, what's his face? Ultimate Warrior, shaking the guardrail, and can't believe Cameron Porter scores, and then pandemonium, bedlam at the Big O. One of the last great call by Jerry Dobson before his retirement, by the way. His former Sportsnet play-by-play for soccer for years and years. All the early soccer, like the 2000 Gold Cup, and all the early soccer memories that we have. It's Jerry Dobson on Sportsnet, and that's great. So that's the story behind the 127 Scarves. So a year or two, so around 2016, I think actually 2017, I was asked on social media for a scarf for listeners of the show, of Off the Woodworks, or fans of the Impact, or anyone that was following me on Twitter, if they have scarves, because I want to decorate the studio. And a few great 127 members, Sean in particular, thank you to this day for this great scarf. It's beautiful. One of the best logos of a supporters group. You can find an owl, which is a snow owl, which looks amazing, by the way. And the nice badge logo, the 4 Montreal insignia, 127 Montreal. So we thank you for that scarf. Now let's go back to, you're wondering, Kevin, why the heck do you have an Orlando City scarf? Well, my friend in Orlando, Garrett, sent that to us a few years ago. Also, Garrett used to be a big fan of Orlando, and then Orlando, I think they got all the best out of Garrett. Hopefully Garrett still enjoys Major League Soccer, but it's not easy being a fan of Orlando City, Sorry about that. Just got to adjust the microphones. All right, so Garrett sent me that scarf about a couple, I would say 2 years ago, maybe a bit more. And, I love to have it on my wall. It has some nice color. And people wonder, why the fuck do you have an Orlando scarf? And, I don't say no to scarf. That's why I don't care about having a Toronto scarf here. By the way, to be honest, it's not a Toronto scarf. It's a Seattle versus Toronto scarf, 2016 MLS Cup scarves. This was given to us, the media member, by Major League Soccer. In 2016, I was at the MLS Cup, and that was MLS's gift to us, journalists. A nice gift. 2017, I wasn't there, but this is my souvenir from 2016, and that was a good time, if you're wondering. So, of course, major EMFC scarf. This one I actually bought over the years. Canada scarf. This is an Olympic Canada scarf, but it actually counts as Canada because Canada is Canada. And I had it. I needed to have a Canada scarf on me. Impact Montreal. This scarf was given to me by a staff of the Montreal Impact during the first game of the Montreal Impact in 2012 away. It was away. The first game was in Vancouver, but at that time I was still working in the restaurant industry. I was up until November of last year, where I retired from the restaurant industry to be a journalist and a reporter and a podcast and sorry about that, podcaster full time. So yeah, that was really hard. That's why we have a cough button that I will use next time. I apologize if you're listening live. So now that scarf, that Impact Montreal scarf right here. On the other side, it's Adidas, and it's black and blue. In 2012, when Montreal was facing Vancouver on March 2nd, 2012, I believe, in their first game ever, I was working in the restaurant industry at Casual Spa, Place Versailles, at that point. And there was a viewing party, the first ever viewing party from the Montreal Impact in Major League Soccer. Most of the staff of the Montreal Impact were there, and they all had, well, it was a viewing party mostly for the staff of the Montreal Impact at that point, with Vice President Richard Legendre and some players. I remember seeing some players there too, Justin Braun and company. Was it Justin Braun there? I don't remember. I just wanted to say Justin Braun, Bernardo Corradi. That was that time period for the Montreal Impact, which, by the way, no Bernardo Corradi on Extra Time's Mount Rushmore of the Montreal Impact. That's a travesty right there. It's a travesty. But all that scarf was given to me by a staff of the Montreal Impact. Now let's continue a look at my scarf wall right now tonight. This one here, Plus Fort Ensemble, Stronger Together. This is from AS Blainville of the PLSQ, Première Ligue du Soccer du Québec, the equivalent of Ligue 1 Ontario in Quebec. This was given to me 2 years ago. 2 years ago. After AS Blainville won against Oakville in the Canadian Championship, I believe, then getting the ticket to play York 98. I think so. It's a couple of years ago. I believe that was when I acquired that scarf. Was given to me by a staff of AS Blainville, which we hope for the best for everyone with AS Blainville, by the way, but this was given to me by the staff, and this is a AS Blainville scarf. Now you're wondering, what the heck is that sleek black and green scarf right here? On the other side of that scarf, it's Pitch Fest, Noel Butler's festival, which was organized with the Corona, with Paul de Baillet, Burgundy Lion, and a lot of other people were organizing with Noel at that time. This was acquired in the first edition of Pitch Fest, where it was the movies and the Corona in 2012, 2013, I believe, and that's when I got that scarf. Now let's continue. Just below the Pitch scarf, this is the original. This is a classic 2008 Stade Saputo July 18 inauguration scarf. Thank you very much. I did not buy it on inauguration. I got it later that year, because all year long they were selling these scarves at the stadium, and I got some tickets. I brought my stepbrothers to Stade Saputo for the first time. That's all the way to 2008. Got them a couple, got myself one, and to this day, it's a prized possession of mine. That classic Montreal Impact scarf right here. Now let's move to another Montreal Impact scarf. Of course, I was a season ticket holder for the Montreal Impact for a few years, and this was one of the scarves they gave. This one in 2013, celebrating the 20 years of the founding of the Montreal Impact in 1993 in their first season. This was one of the good scarves they did with the fleur-de-lis, 20 years. There's a few logo here and down. This was a great logo. This is a Ultras Montreal scarf. Long time ago, I got that given to me also back in my supporters days. And we have here a hockey scarf. I know, I'm like, what the heck? Maybe some of you noticed that before and were wondering, what the heck is that? Panthers? This look like, is that really the Florida Panthers scarf? It is. And the reason why I have it on my wall, it was given to me by my father. There's no other reason. I don't like the Florida Panthers, which I guess, I don't know. But he went to Florida. He went to see a Panthers game. He saw a scarf, and he thought that I would like it. So he bought a scarf. And hey, if someone thinks I'm going to like something and they give it to me, well, I like it. I like to be given things, I guess. Which leads me to this. If you have a scarf that you want to see on my wall, if you are watching this, you're a big Soccer Today fan, and you're from somewhere where we don't have a scarf on our wall, there's a few Montreal Impact scarves here that I'm willing to take out. As long as we have one still represented, I'm willing to have a rotation and have some more. I'm looking in particular for scarves from Vancouver, scarves from Toronto, scarves from the Canadian Premier League. If you are listening to this, my DMs are open. You can send scarves to SPN and we'll put them on the wall for a few months, or for a couple weeks for sure. We'll have this, but for a couple times a week, and when it's soccer shows, we'll have the scarves background come back. Of course, I'm just waiting, like I was talking about earlier. I'm looking for a new camera. We'll get that done. We'll bring back the green screen so you can have the great image and the quality that you're used to. Hopefully this works also. Of course, we're broadcasting in 720p HD. We're doing our best, and without draining your data also, which is the big difference between 720p and 1080p. And for what we're doing, video, we do have video, we do have love the live video component. We're getting a better camera just so we can actually show you more details and better things in video, or we're actually getting more than a camera coming in then at the end of the week probably, or maybe next week. Now, if you're a streamer, you're going to love what I'm going to talk about in the next few minutes. If you're not, if you're a podcaster, just getting into streaming also, it might be interesting to you. There's a lot of ways to stream things and do things. Apologies for the movement here once again. There's a lot of ways to do things. So here, example. So right now I'm talking to you and I'm going to use my OBS to change. Oh, I'm now like Dwayne. Hi, Dwayne. We're doing soccer today. Hi, Dwayne. How are you? So example. So I can change all this here. But this does put a certain amount of strain on your computer, right? This is all done in the computer, but now there's ways with the fact that I'm having a DSLR camera coming into the studio, which will be what I shoot with. You can't just plug in your DSLR camera into your laptop. And people are like, oh, no, you can't. No. It would be way too easy. And it's gonna sound like it's a lot of work, and there's ways to do it on the cheaper, but it's always rinky-dinky. And for the amount of streaming that I do, which is a minimum of 3 hours a week, live, if not more, some days I do 3 hours an entire day, you need a better setup, a reliable setup, which we have, a very reliable setup here on Soccer Today. That's not the problem. We're not looking for reliability improvement. We have that. We're more looking for improvement in the video quality. So of course, right now you're seeing it's great. When I had the green screen, you can see the difference here around my face. And the more you do things with your computer, the more you risk the run of having your CPU running too hot. And then, well, not literally, I mean figuratively, your CPU runs too much strain on your CPU, and then your video becomes choppy. And I don't just stream live. I stream live in HD, 720p full HD. Well, not full HD, sorry. 720p HD. We not only stream, we record also at the same time, so we can put it on another platform. We stream on Twitter, as you can listen to us, and we put it on YouTube and on Facebook also after. So that demands a lot on your computer. And doing productive, like doing the graphics, just seeing that ticker at the bottom of your screen, which is really important to me. This takes a lot too, but having on top of it probably 20 other scenes I have with graphics, all the different shows, pictures, videos, and depending on the topic you've seen over the years, we've become quite good at putting graphics on the screen and trying to find good things to talk about and to show you when we have a topic, you know. So later this week or early next week, we're lucky enough, we found a partner during this pandemic, and they're helping us with the cost of this expensive machine. We're getting an Atom Mini, which is created by Blackmagic. Blackmagic is a high-end video streaming company. They do a lot of great gizmos. Epiphan does a lot of great things too. Blackmagic is a good one here, and we're getting what's called an Atom Mini. So it's more than just an HDMI capture card. So if you're a gamer, you know what an HDMI capture card is. If you're not, well, you can learn here. So maybe I'll give you some tidbits of information here while you're learning how to stream and learning how to do things properly on your laptop here. If you want to do an amazing Zoom presentation, just listen to what I'm saying too. It'll cost you $1,000, but you'll find yourself with amazing capabilities. So what we're looking to do, we're getting that Atom Mini. So this is a gizmo that has 4 HDMI input inside there. So this is basically like an HDMI capture card, like a game capture card. So I could actually plug my PlayStation into that thing and then put it into my laptop, and I can use it in OBS because it turns whatever I put into it into a webcam type of situation. Discoverable port or device for your computer. So once I get the Atom Mini and I example get my DSLR. Sorry. I've been trying to fight that yawn for 2 minutes, and you know what they say, if you fight a yawn, the more you fight it, the more it's going to come and win. So once I get this Atom Mini, I'll get my DSLR camera example, and I'll still get that camera too. So I'll plug that camera into it also, and a couple of other sources. I could even take HDMI of Dwayne's video, which we only have audio for now because don't want things to fail. But this will give me the opportunity to have Dwayne example by video or anyone else by video through an HDMI port on my Atom Mini. Then all the feeds that I have, so my camera and DSLR, which you can't just plug into your computer, but if you have like an Atom Mini, you can use that. And you can use other images also. You patch that into your computer. And then you have what's called a keyboard also. So what I could do is only having one scene, one video go through OBS. So it doesn't strain OBS. Only have one scene. You don't have to switch all the time. All the switches I do are before. So they're all encoded and they go straight to OBS. And then OBS, you can stream with OBS, but you don't overtax OBS because you don't use all the features of OBS. You basically use them before hardware-wise. So I'll show you that once we have the new setup come in the next couple of weeks. I'll show you all, but it's fascinating what you could do live streaming. And I only dabbled one show into the world of streaming. As you can tell, we're improving in the quality of our streams, of the audio, of the look of our stream. When we get our new gadgets, it'll be even better, and we appreciate the support. It's because of the support of listeners over the years that we were able to go from having one tablet balanced on a bowl and myself with the cheapest mic you could have in 2013, starting to do podcasts, to today, which were tens and tens of thousands of dollars of investment into equipment, knowledge, courses, classes, software, hardware. A lot to learn, which is a great thing because it led me to learn all these things, and it led me to creating my own business now. With, by the way, if you are looking for consultancy of your podcast, branding solutions, help and knowledge, doing and improving your digital footprint, or maybe alleviating your digital burden if you want, you can always give us a call. spinmediasolutions@gmail.com. Spin Media Solutions is our company that I've started. I have a few contracts already. You can find out what we do. For now, actually, they're doing the services for Montreal West United Church. We also help a couple of musicians taking their audio songs and adding a footage to it. And if others just taking footage that already exists, wrapping the footage properly, uploading it, and publishing it to different social media. So we have a few different partners, and we appreciate their work. And this wouldn't be possible without soccer, because it's basically because of soccer podcasting that I've learned everything I know today about digital streaming, social media, about branding, about creating logo designs, graphic design. So everything that you see, by the way, on the network, I've created myself. So over the years, this adds up, and the knowledge and the hours, so this is why Spin Media Digital Solutions exists, because I needed to find an outlet for all the knowledge that we have gained over the years. So this is an example of what we could do, and this is where our streamings are going to go. As you can tell, over the last few months, as everyone is now turning itself to streaming and to doing videos and TV from their living room and their home studio, everyone has to step up their game, and we're stepping up our game too. And we'll be back soon with a very interesting camera and look. But until then, we'll have the Scarves look for a few days. I kind of dig it. It's kind of cool. We really appreciate all the people that gave us these scarves. Sean, of course, Garrett, Stefan, and everyone else who gave us a scarf on this wall. We appreciate. If you want to give us a scarf, also DM us. Our DMs are open. Dwayne is sending me a Toronto scarf, so that's going to be taken care of. But Vancouver scarf, we're looking for, of course, I would love a New York Red Bull scarf or Metro Star scarf or Canadian Premier League, whatever the case may be. And we're working on a promotion. I don't want to pay people for scarves because it kind of defeats the purpose. But right now with COVID-19, with what happened in Nova Scotia, it really it hits closer to home than you think. I have in-laws in Nova Scotia, and unfortunately there's connections, and it's unfortunate and it's really sad. But we're thinking about a way that for every scarves that you send our way, we have a donation to a COVID-19 relief for healthcare workers, and something for the families affected by this senseless tragedy that happened in Nova Scotia earlier this weekend. So we're looking to that. But on that note, I'll tell you good night for tonight. I hope you enjoyed our little hangout with us. Hope you enjoyed hanging out and looking at the different scarves and just talking about podcasting and streaming and what's going to come in the future. Not just for us, but for everyone. Streaming is not going anywhere. Everyone will always stream, and people will just learn how to stream it better, and everyone is going to up their game, which is what we're trying to do. So we're taking this time here at SPN, me and the studio in Montreal, we're working with Dwayne to find better ways to better his side. Also, we're working on different possibilities over the next few weeks as we have time to look into it, to do research. I spent the last couple of days just researching how to do this damn lavalier mic comp properly. I don't know that I have done it properly yet, but we have spent time doing a lot of research on video and on just being able to find solutions to get a good clear image and to have a broadcast quality image, which is my goal now. I might not broadcast in 1080p, not because I can't. I can, and I have the capabilities, and I could do that tomorrow morning. I could do 1080p, 60 frames per second. But why strain not only my internet, which is fine, I have unlimited, I have maybe the best internet that you can find anywhere. It's not the point. The point is, why put that strain on people's data? Why put that strain on a video that you watch somewhere that's downloading on that internet that's rinky-dinky? That's why 720, I think, for what we're doing, it's not like we're watching the Avengers movie that we need HD and we need full details on Scarlett Johansson. No, this is my face, and yes, I do wear makeup when I do TV because there's a lot of lighting here, and I shine a lot. So that's part of learning what you do too. Is you got to treat what you do with a certain amount of quality and respect, and this is what we're doing. We're investing even more. We're doubling down. On top of doing this full time, we're investing a bit of dollars in the company. We have some revenues, we have some clients, and we help with all their donations and with advertising revenues. And of course, I've taken a big hit with COVID-19, we're not gonna lie, but hopefully this comes back after. And it's fascinating too what this has done to the podcasting world, because there's a lot of articles you can find out there. But just if you're listening to this live on Twitter because you're bored, well, thank you. But how many podcasts have you listened? If you were listening to your podcast only while you were commuting, well, you're not commuting anymore. So a lot of people are not listening to their podcast anymore. But we know that's not your case because you're listening to us right now. And we appreciate it. And I recorded this as a podcast too, and I think I'm going to post it. And I recorded the video. I'm going to post it on YouTube and everywhere else. But hopefully you enjoyed our little hangout session together. We might do this again if you want. And of course, you can always ask me any question about podcasting at Kev Laramee. Of course, if you really want to know everything, I might send you a bill and we might have an actual consultancy relationship, which is great. I love to. You can always email me or just find me on Twitter at Kev Laramee. But as always, until tomorrow, have a great soccer.